All right, so we're looking at how to multiply and divide numbers that are written in scientific notation. The first thing I want to point out is that when we're multiplying and dividing these numbers, they do not have to have the same power of 10. When you add and subtract, you do have to have the same power of 10. And so I wanted to point out that for multiplying and dividing, you're just going to take the numbers as is and do the work. So, first step, and these two steps, it honestly doesn't matter which order you do them. But two steps here, you're going to multiply or divide the powers of 10. Of course, if you're multiplying those powers, the base stays the same and you just add the exponents. If you're dividing those powers, the base stays the 10 and you subtract the exponents. And then you're also going to multiply or divide the mantisas. Remember that when dividing, that order matters. So you have to make sure you know the order for division. And then you're going to take that and you'll take the mantissa, right? Your result from multiplying or dividing the mantissa is going to be your new mantissa. And then your power of 10 is going to be your power of 10. But you want to check that that answer is in standard form or proper scientific notation, meaning if that mantissa is not equal to or greater than 1 or less than 10, then you need to change it and change the power to go with it. So let's look at an example here. So it says stalactites in Mammoth Cave form at a rate of 3.3 times 10 to the negative fourth feet per year. So how much will a stalactite grow in 500 years? So I've got these two numbers. If this is how much it grows in 1 year, and I want to know 500 years, so that means I'm going to multiply those. So first thing is let's change this to scientific notation. And then I want to multiply that by 3.3 times 10 to the negative fourth. So even though my steps up here say to use the power of 10 first, I actually like to take care of these constants. And so I'm going to multiply 3.3 times 5. And of course, I can use my calculator to make sure I'm more precise with that. And I get 16.5. And then whenever I multiply my powers of 10, because they have the same base, I just add the exponents. So I have 10 to the negative fourth and 10 squared. So negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. And so this is mathematically the correct answer. However, it is not expressed in scientific notation properly. And so if you take a large number and write it in scientific notation, then you add a power to 10. So I need to move this decimal. It's too large, so I'm going to move it over. And so that adds a power here. So negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And so this looks like, that's wrong. There's not a 0 there. This looks like this. Because I just have to move it one place over. You can double check that here. This is going to move 2 places over. So when you move this decimal 2 places over, it ends up in front of the 1, which is exactly what happens here. If you move it 1 place over, it ends up in front of the 1. So these are the two accepted answers, standard form or scientific notation. So let's do an example for division. So in division, we can't change the order. I like to write them as stacked division, like this. And then I kind of just do the different parts here. So 6 divided by 1.5 is 4, and that is times 10. And so negative 8 minus negative 9 is the same as negative 8 plus the opposite of negative 9. And so that is a positive 1. This is in scientific notation, so that is a good answer. And it also equals 4 times 10 is equal to 40. So those two answers would be acceptable for this answer.